You schmuck. Do you really think I'd be stupid enough to kill myself?
Here he comes.
The lock. Let go of the handle. I don't have the handle. Open the lock.
Shake up! Come on, move! Get out! Come on!
It just reminded me, Robert Davi would come into Milius' office quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And when he showed up, he would bring like Italian sausage, cheeses, and wine. Like he would show up to the meeting with a picnic basket. Was he like that on the set of Goonies too?
Oh, Robert was great. I mean, he was such a sweet guy. The only time he kind of showed a little more frustration or whatever was with Joey Pantoliano, because they were professional and I think in some ways personal rivals as well. And they got each other back and forth, during production. But one story that I've never shared, we had a great greensman named Danny Andreyko, and I think Danny's still working. But he, when we were shooting on the Wishing Well set, Danny would go up into the rafters whenever Robert would come on the stage, and he would call from up above, "Robert Davi," and Robert would say, "Yes," and he'd say, "Phone call," and Robert would go over to the phone, pick it up, and nobody was there, so he hung up. And Danny would do that off and on during the day, and Robert always went to the phone. So that was that. But Danny was just being Danny. The rivalry between Joey and Robert was probably a little more intense.
Now, why was that? Do you think they had lost parts to each other in the past and probably
That
took
may
it
be
personally?
it.
Yeah,
I think they went up for the same things.
constantly.
Which is strange because they really, they don't resemble each other in any way. I mean, height, or I guess it's because they're Italian, maybe. I don't know.
Well, it could be an Italian thing, and I, as an Italian, I can say, depending if one of them, you can get Sicilian about these things, pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
I think both of them have cut their teeth in pretty creative ways. And I mean, I just had a conversation with director Steve Surgic, one of our favorites, who we were talking about Die Hard and how, it's the Johnson no relation line.
Yes.
And how that simple dialogue works so well in the film, but could have been so stupid depending on how the actors handled that basic exchange.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm Agent Johnson. This is Special Agent Johnson.
Oh, how you doing?
No relation.
I'm Dwayne Robinson, LAPD. I'm in charge here.
Not anymore.
And we were laughing about the skill set that the audience probably doesn't fully absorb that it takes to be these cocky FBI agents and get to the whole, Agent Johnson. This is Agent Johnson. No relation. That could be delivered 100 ways. But what it circled back to was Davi is pretty skilled in ways I don't think he fully gets credit for in some sense. But
I agree. Last time I saw them a year ago, last January, Robert and Joey, Key and Corey and Carrie were appearing at a convention in Comic-Con in Pennsylvania, and they FaceTimed me.
Yeah.
And it was, we talked about some of the old stories, in Hawaii, things like that, and so they still have fond memories of that time, as we all do.
A good production, if you're lucky enough to be on, it'll stick with you a lifetime. The bad ones will too, unfortunately.
Yeah, true. They follow you around.
Your road to redemption is paved with tombstones. No quarter, kill all masters. Go to noquarterkillallmasters.com. Rated R.